Hey, send this link to us too, Harlan, so we can tweet it out.
Yeah, just let us know in the chat or whatever. I'm good to go. Remind us.
Somebody sent out a tweet.
Tweet-a-lead-a-lead.
Oh, I just do it like this. I'm just gonna tweet it out like this until we say.
Hey, what the ground code thing? We got the ground code.
Oh, graphic.
Yeah, the graphic.
Ground code graphic.
Yeah, like see how I got Spencer up there next to.
Oh yeah, we missing some shit.
Yeah,
Harlan.
Yeah, twist that out if you can.
Oh, it might be. Let me see. Did TJ take it off? It's been on there before.
Yeah. I think you just got to go to
Brandon shit at the top.
Yeah, say something like that on the.
Oh, here it is. I see it.
Right hand side.
Yeah, he changed it for the Warzone tournament.
For the panel. The Warzone. I thought it was made for that panel we did. All right.
If you were my best friend, all the time.
You watching Get Rich or Die Trying or some shit, boy?
Nah, I was listening to The Massacre the other day.
Mm.
I'll throw it in there. I'll go ahead and start. It'll pop up. I've got to find the logo. TJ must have taken it out. I'll put it in there in the show.
All good. Tired playing with sponsors, bro. Playing with the bag.
That's a specialty.
All this shit is powered by the great folks at Gramco. We need this shit there, right? Y'all ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
It's the roll up. It's the vibes. Another beautiful day in the Sunshine State, and I am kicking it with my guys. Larry Young, CJ, what he do?
Rise and grind, man. Just getting up in the morning. Got to thank God. I don't smell no breakfast cooking, dog. That's the only downside of being single some days. Man.
So it's officially not a good day.
Well,
Ice Cube.
Well, I don't know, man. You said you put in some work.
Gotta go though.
That mid.
Gotta go.
Yeah, you don't know that mid, bro.
I mean, whatever y'all say. Okay. Gotta go. gotta find you somewhere to be in the morning.
I feel you on that now.
gotta find you gotta find something to do.
No matter how much I like breakfast, I like
my private peace in the morning. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I like that more.
You ain't gotta go home, but you gotta get up out of here. Ice Cube said it was a good day because but he woke up with the breakfast smelling like no
hog and
no swine.
I'm bad. I don't smell no swine right now. Yeah. I ain't involved there yet. I don't smell no goddamn bacon in here. And then I hear you smell your old stinking ass breath. It's really bad. But everything I have, man.
That's what's up, man. CJ, what did you do this Sunday morning, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling real good. Chilling before it's supposed to be raining all day today. I'm feeling pretty good. Yesterday, took the kids to the pool, hung out a little bit. Just chilled. Today I was supposed to take them go see Thor this evening. This afternoon, we'll see how the weather holds up, man. But overall, man, good Sunday. I told y'all Sunday morning in my happy place on vibing.
Kids ain't want to hear nothing about no weather, man.
No, so it was supposed to rain yesterday. It was cloudy and looking at the the app, it was like 50% throughout the day or whatever.
Yeah,
cloudy and shit. Couple showers in the morning. Motherfuckers still looking what time we going to the pool. Bro,
yeah.
You look outside and see this shit, like, bro, what do you mean? What time you going to the pool? Depending on the damn weather.
That shit
at all.
We used to have to get ran out when lightning was out.
Pissed off and started like lightning. Like it's X amount of miles away. We might be all right now. Get your ass out of that damn pool. Yeah. But it's something about a hold that a pool has on the kid though, man. Because I was the same way coming. I love the damn pool.
I loved it, man. I just didn't like it in my neighborhood. My parents got a pool. I loved it, but and shout out to Lakeshore Pool in Belglade, bro. It was a war zone.
Oh, the danger zone. Yeah. Not public pools. Yeah.
Oh, no, public pools ain't the vibes, man. Community pool, like CJ. What you hearing about Thor, man? I've been hearing mixed reviews. Logan wasn't that high on it. I've been hearing mixed reviews.
Yeah, I've been hearing mixed reviews too.
I liked it.
Oh, you liked it? You peeped it?
I saw it, but okay. I can see what the knocks would be. I think the biggest knock would be it may be a little too pushed on the silly side. Like it worked good. Yeah, it worked good for Ragnarok, but then like in this one, and this is even a little bit shorter film, it felt like he was trying to condense even more. Just
and he got more people too with the Guardians and all of that.
Yeah. They out of there a little quicker, but without giving it up. But yeah, I still enjoyed it. Now, if you want to critique it like on a real film type of thing, you might be like, all right, it's not the best movie on the planet, but it was enjoyable. I had a good time watching it. I laughed my ass off, but I see what people would be like, but I liked it.
You went on a solo date? Little self-care?
Nah, but I mean, I'm gonna tell you right now, when it comes to the Marvel movies, yeah, I don't give a damn who I go with. But actually, I like going to the movies by myself.
Yeah.
Early matinees, man, that's my vibe. Boy, I get off work on Friday, 12:30, IMAX matinee. Shit. I be in that motherfucker by myself.
Right.
Vibed out. But I actually went with who did I go with? Oh, one of my married couple friends. So I was third wheeling it.
True enough. I'm gonna check it out, man. And when it comes to those type of movies, I don't know, man. I guess I'm a little different. I don't read too much into it and be hella critical on a lot of stuff, man. As long as it got good action scenes, some of the comedy that they had in Ragnarok, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're not a huge critic. You're just trying to enjoy yourself,
right?
Be entertained.
Yeah, man, I like Fast and the Furious, man. Them all garbage. So
you like that shit? Yeah, you would.
But it's garbage. I know
watch anything.
No, it'd be a little entertaining.
But me still.
After Fast 5, though, Fast 5, that's Fast 5. That's the one they brought the Rock in. That was the one.
I be laughing though. That's the thing. Like I don't be like, wow, look. I'll be laughing like, well, you can't drive no car like that.
Tyrese was just too bad in them shits, man. I had to get out.
He was terrible. He's the worst.
Bad.
Oh my god, I hate
Tyrese is good and awful, man.
Oh my
the whole cast is though.
And that's the thing, though. When the whole cast is bad, and you got one motherfucker who stand out particularly within the bad cast.
Yeah, you the worst of the worst.
Yeah, that just lets you
see
know.
Like, I love it, but I know it's trash.
Yeah. Hey, we got some fire on the way, man. Of course, we got Buster Davis this episode. We about to kick it. But also this Friday, if you're in the Central Florida area or you anywhere in Florida, if you can make your way to the Kush House, man, we vibing and kicking some shit with Preston Parker, man, 561, Delray, Florida State. Dude was electric when he played. And didn't leave. He was a North Alabama alumni like Janoris. So we got some stories to tell, man. We got some things to kick, man. Some Kush to put in the air. Excited to see y'all boys Friday, bro.
Like we told y'all in the Janoris interview, man. Bound did his thing with North Alabama. He was getting guys up there for sure. So
right, yeah.
If you was having troubles within the big three, even other schools, man, you was heading to North Alabama, man.
All right, so we're gonna kick it. We're gonna kick it. Larry, I'm not gonna sleep through this one. We're gonna get down here in a timely fashion. And Friday night around 7 p.m., bro, we're gonna do what we do. And then we'll put this out. We got to edit it down and all that. So y'all won't get this as quick. Just like the Janoris type thing. We're going to vibe it out a little bit, edit it down, make it look real cute for y'all. And then we're going to throw this thing out to the streets. Shout out to everybody supporting our Patreon, man. Y'all will get it first. We got a lot of Patreon action going on. We'll talk about it later in the show. I don't want to read y'all too much, man. Shout out to the great folks at Gramco. We also got a tailgate on the way. Florida State is playing LSU. They about to get their shit smashed in out there, man. So we going to the dome.
We whooping the SEC shit, baby. Whooping it.
Larry, what you got before we get
to the South?
What you got to score for that game? How bad you think they beat the shit out of Florida State?
It's gonna be a bludgeoning. I'm gonna go first game of the year, so I'm gonna be respectful.
Brian Kelly pulling out the stick, man. He called it.
Yeah, he don't mind.
You got to set the tone. He don't mind.
Mop all that shit up. So I'm gonna go modest first game of the year. I'm gonna go 31-13.
Them bitches go 31 on us, man. God damn.
No, but here's my thing. This is how I thought Notre Dame would beat Florida State last year, and somehow Brian Kelly like pissed down his pants and made it a game.
Damn sure did. That was a pretty good game.
Yeah.
Did Trail get put out of that one too? Or he just got hurt in that game?
Yeah, remember, so his crazy situation, his helmet came off fourth quarter or so, and we had to throw Milton in. And then, like, the first play of Milton being in, his motherfucker complete like a 30-yard pass or whatever.
Yeah.
So
here's the story. I'm like,
right. Motherfucker, the basketball comeback story. Coming back from the injury and all that. The shit was damn perfect. So Mike, and I don't know, man. Mike ended up playing him the rest of the damn game, but I don't know. Maybe if Trav played it, I don't know. It was just crazy how that situation played out. He get his helmet taken off. He's out for a couple plays, but in the first damn play, this motherfucker completed 30-yard pass downfield. Like, oh shit, let me.
Mike got excited, boy. He's
He's
still learning. He's still climbing.
Oh, shit, I got excited. Bitch. I thought it was a damn UCF Milton at one point.
Yeah. Boy looked all right for like 3 plays, man.
Like 3 plays. And then reality set in. So I don't know what it was, the drilling of the game, that type of shit. But he looked okay for 3 plays, and that's when the live started with Milton.
Yeah. Back to the tailgate, man. The space is limited. If you're a Patreon, you get in free. Tickets are available on our website. You go to rollupnetwork.com. They're $50. That is all you can eat, all you can drink. We 2 blocks away from the stadium, plenty of shade. We hanging out big. Y'all already know what the cush gonna be like. This thing is the Roll Up Network. It's Gramco. You know what I'm saying? Everything's sponsored.
That's what I say also. We got, like I said, food on deck, drinks on deck, and we had the Gramco products also on deck. So you know it's gonna be a good time.
Already. And when I say Gramco product, and when he say Gramco product, we got some new shit gonna be rolling out, man. So when you pull up to that tailgate, you might have some seltzers, some Kush, some Kush seltzers, man. We vibing out a little bit, man. So it's gonna smell like the projects, but taste like downtown.
Quality, elite, upper echelon. It's gonna taste like rose wraps.
Right.
Nice. That's a man.
That is.
I know the good folks at Gramco probably don't know what that means, but that is one hell of a stamp.
Absolutely. Don't get no better than that, man.
Do the Patreons need to still like register tickets?
Yeah. We working on some
Eventbrite.
Yeah. You still gonna have to register. Oh, it's on the website. It's on our website.
Okay.
I believe it's set up. If you show up and show us your Patreon at the entry, we let you in. But I'm working on some stuff. I don't want to say what I'm doing because then somebody could probably go mimic. But we're working on some ticketing stuff that's very unique, and then maybe collectible type stuff. So we got some vibes we kicking up, man. We'll see what's up. But yeah, if you a Patreon, you get in free. Go to the website or hit us up, hit TJ up to find out what exactly you Patreons got to do. But I think you just show your Patreon membership and you should be able to get in.
Nice.
And also be sure to visit thegramco.com. Use coupon code ROLLUP 25 for 25% off all your Gramco. So we'll get back to, I don't want to add reading too deep. We just talked about a whole list of announcements, man. A lot of Big 3 news, commitment wise.
We got Buster in. We got Buster. Ready? Yeah, hard to say he's ready.
All right, let's bring him in. We'll get to Big 3 news later.
Buster, what's good? How you doing?
What's good with y'all this morning? Early this morning.
Right, early. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a no legend with us. We got Buster Davis, one of the best linebackers in FSU history. Was named the first team All ACC selection in 2006, and also he was an All American that year. Drafted in the 3rd round by the Detroit Lions. Buster, what's up, man? Talk to us.
What's good? How y'all doing this morning, man?
We vibing, man.
Yeah, I hear you over here. Yeah, y'all talking bad about my nose, but
man, I ain't know you was in the weight room, man.
They be talking crazy about us, man. They been killing us these last couple years, right?
Man, but we haven't performed, so I understand, the doubt when it comes to our school. Yeah, it's been tough the last couple of years.
Before we get into like your plan, how you feel about Mike Norvell and what he's doing right now?
I only get to see a little bit of the games just because I'm, we're working on Saturdays when we usually are playing, because we don't get those 8:00 games, 8:00 at night games no more. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of tough to say because you got to think he took this job in the COVID year, so it's really kind of to see kind of where he is or where the team has come. In those 2 years, and you take the year after the COVID year, and you still deal with some of those things in COVID. So I think this year here will be kind of a year that you kind of see kind of what he's done over these last 24 months since he's taken the job. So I'm excited to see him play this year. I do think the first game is going to be a tough one, but I do think that he is doing the job to progress us where we came from, with Coach Taggart, but. Overall, I'm excited to see what he does.
Now, Buster, you know how these boosters getting these fans get and things like that. So, man, if Mike don't do it this year, what do you think? Think FSU going a different direction? I guess what's the for FSU to keep Mike? What's the win total you have in mind for him? This is as far as building the program and stuff like that. But you know firsthand, man, it's a results driven business, correct?
True.
Yeah. So, what do you think he has to do in order to keep his job next year and move forward in order to get the program to where he wants to get it at?
Well, I think you got to get back to a bowl game, right? I mean, we haven't been to a bowl game in 3 or 4 years, so that has to be the ultimate thing. Hey, we have to figure out how to win 6 of these games to get to a bowl game. But again, like I said, I think, when you got to think, these last 2 years we've been in has probably most pivotal years that our country has been through in the last 50 years, right? And so, especially when it comes to the health of people, I think a lot of those variables have truly impacted, what he's been able to do for the last 2 years. So I do think that there is some grace period there because of those things. But as a Seminole fan, again, as the people who are cutting the checks there, right, they want to see progress. And they want to be able to say, hey, there's progress here and see it. So I think the bowl game has to be the thing that we have to be able to obtain this year, because if not, it would be tough to sell to say, hey,
right, because it's already tough to sell on a recruiting trail right now. You go another year without a bowl, and you put yourself in a deeper hole in regards to
Agreed. And right now with the NIL stuff, and you see what UM is doing, what Florida's doing, those cats are taking over the state of Florida. Because remember, when we was coming out of school, you never had to recruit out of state. You go spot recruit, but you recruit the state and you killed it. And when you want to cross guys, especially at those 2 schools, there's the same guys you grew up with, right? And so until they're able to win the state, it's going to be tough to be successful long term. I
agree. Let's take it back a little bit though, Buster. So you grew up in the 386, right? Daytona, man.
Correct.
How was it coming up in Daytona? And I'm pretty familiar with Daytona. I played at Bethune myself. So how was it for you coming up in Daytona?
I think, especially when I was growing up, I think it's it's a very family oriented place. Still is. I just went home and saw my mom last week during our bye week. Dead week. So growing up there, the first thing you're gonna do, especially where you're from, you're gonna go play at Derbyshire Park, right? Because that's where we all grew up at. And so growing up there, man, was really unique because we moved from one part of Daytona to the other part, going into high school, and and that's kind of where all my friends, still to this day, because I moved to the Derbyshire area, that's kind of where I've kind of grown up and kind of become who I became. So, but I loved it. I still go back, try to see my parents and see, some of my friends who are still there, and it's a great place. I think it's a great place just to raise kids and raise a family.
I agree. It's a real family-oriented, laid-back town. Now, I tell people this all the time, and being basically what Daytona is placed, well, not Daytona, where Bethune-Cookman is placed at, and just the surrounding areas of Daytona, or Bethune-Cookman, so to speak. Right. You know exactly, like, this is what the black folks at, this is the hood, et cetera, right? And I tell people, this probably goes way back, and I think we were placed there certainly because you got Ridge Road, that street there.
Yeah, Ridgewood, yep.
And then you got Nova. Nova. You have Nova, and then you got the train tracks, right? So everything between Nova and the train tracks is pretty much where all the black people in Daytona stand, correct?
Yeah. Yes. And if you really go back in time, where I grew up at, my later years were really kind of a white state at, and I forgot the company that was there, but that place where the company was kind of where the racetrack is.
Yeah.
I think the company name. Anyway, that's where the executive stayed at, where we were in the Derbyshire Park area. And then they, of course, you move, the company moves and everybody else moves out, right? And then we move in. So, but overall, though, man, like the Daytona is, still a good place to just raise a family to me. I don't, if the financial situation there was really good, hell, I might still be there, but it's tough to.
Georgia a little different, right?
Yeah, coach, you all right?
Yeah. Georgia pay a little different.
A couple more dollars, yeah.
Right. Well, one last question we got this the Daytona band, man. So let's talk about Bethune Grill a little bit.
Oh my Lord, have mercy.
I was telling you, I was gonna tell you, Larry, when you come down next week, stop at Daytona, man. Make sure you grab you some damn Bethune Grill, some of the best swings you'll ever have, man. That's legit. One of my favorite damn establishments in Daytona.
No question.
The best.
Spent many of my dollars there growing up at that Bethune Grill, you know. And, so crazy. I didn't get as soon as we got in last Sunday, T was like, "Hey, I'm going to Bethune Grill." I said, "You need that 50."
That's my first stop every time, bro. So,
yeah.
Man, I took every time I come there, so that's my first stop.
We went in town 20 minutes. He said, "I'll go Bethune Grill." I said, "You already look at that 50 piece right now."
TJ first stop always food, bro. Your stop always food, bro.
Gotta fuel up,
right? You got that road. You got to fuel up for the day.
No question.
Been a hell of a ride.
You was a great linebacker. So when did you realize, like, okay, I'm pretty good at this football thing, and it could probably take me some places?
You know what? If you ask anybody about me growing up, I've always felt I was the best, no matter who I was on the field with. And some people call it arrogance. I just call it confidence. I knew who I was, and I think a lot of people struggle, early on with confidence. For me, I've always had it. Well, and maybe because of my mom and dad, I was raised by them, and I've always said, hey, you go out there, you be the best you can. And I think about probably about in the 7th grade, I told mom, I was like, hey, I'm gonna go play in the league one day, and she looked like I was crazy.
You was tearing shit up out there at Pop Warner, huh? You was like, man,
yeah, she's like, bro, what are you talking about? I said, Mom, I'm gonna go play in the league one day, and I never forget was on a family reunion trip going down in South Florida on the bus. We had we were in like a bus. I told mom, I said, Mom, I'm gonna go play in the league one day, and she, she was kind of like, what? I said, yeah. And so eventually, ended up doing it because I do think this year I've never let anything stop me from being what I wanted to be, and I think that's one of the things I try to tell young people today. There's gonna be many stops in the road for you, but you can't never stop. You gotta continue to go. And that's always kind of been my mantra about who I am and what I've done. So, yeah.
And playing at even at that young age, I know you said you had confidence. Sorry, Larry.
No,
even at that young age with the confidence, you still had to know that you were a little undersized, right? So
I never saw that.
You never saw that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Because you got to think of 7th grade, we all look the same, right? So at that moment, I didn't feel I was undersized. So no. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I was just asking from a confidence standpoint, even at linebacker. So you thought that you was going to be an NFL linebacker, considering how big NFL linebackers are.
Right. Yeah. I didn't know it was going to be a linebacker, but I just felt like
at that point of stage, right?
Yeah,
that's what my question was. Actually, I was going to say, because I know like Silk says it a lot. I've echoed that sentiment as well. Like linebacker is such an attitude. Mm-hmm. How did you know that was your niche? Like, I want to knock heads off. To be a great linebacker, that typically is the attitude.
You gotta be a little bit.
You gotta be different.
Yeah, you gotta be a little off the keter a little bit, man.
Yeah. And even ask all my friends growing up, I was kind of like that, So I played linebacker growing up, and then I got to high school. I was a little bit smaller than everybody else, right? So they put me in the secondary for a little bit. And then somebody got hurt in 9th grade. And I never forget. Somebody got hurt and said, hey, I need you to go fill in for this position. All right, cool. And so as I'm going into my sophomore year, I was playing will linebacker and did really well. And then when I became a junior, coach like, I might as well put you in the middle of the field. And so then that's kind of how it kind of happened. But I've always had an attitude that no matter what coach played me, I was going to be the best on the field. That's just kind of always how I've ever been. Yeah, just been wired that way. Yeah.
All right, so you was part of the 2002 class, and at that point in time, Bethune couldn't have wanted me back in 2002, if I'm not mistaken.
Facts.
All right, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Talk a little bit. Coach Wild, you had Alan Subak quarterback, Rasheem Mathis, he was defense, damn near everything, right?
No question.
He did everything for BCU back then. What imprint did BCU have on the culture of Daytona back then? Because you were around when they were winning. I was there when we were winning with Coach Jenkins. So what imprint did BCU have upon the culture within Daytona?
I think it's like anything, when you win, everybody comes to do what? They come out and support, right? Mm-hmm. And, you look at Subrak quarterback, you had Sheen out there at wherever he played on defense, just wrecking havoc. I think it's like anything you go. When that team or whoever's winning in that particular city is winning, it brings what? It brings economic, structure there. It brings pride there. It's not just about the band anymore, right? And I think that's kind of what Coach Wyatt was doing. And I'll tell you this here, I was talking to a friend of mine today, is if we weren't so caught up in the going to play Division I football.
That was my next damn question. But
I know it was. I know he was going to say right into that. If Coach,
we journalism over here, bro.
I see it. If the talent in Daytona Beach doesn't leave, if the talent in Daytona Beach doesn't leave, and I'm talking about Volusia County at all.
Your year, too, you had like Xavier leave around your time, all that.
He was 2 years behind me, right? If we don't leave,
okay,
we are I think, a FCS national championship, contender. That's how much talent is rolling around in Volusia County.
I agree with them. The 386, and then you got what? Deltona, D-Lim.
You just go to Volusia County. You got to recruit outside Volusia County, and we would have been all right. Yeah, because you got to think probably in that time period from the old 2001 class to about 2005 is when Shine really was kind of killing it.
Right.
And the recruits that went other places around the country, and we stay in town, we're a national championship type team.
Why didn't you guys you didn't give it a thought like, hey, let's?
I know why I try to recruit you.
Come
on, Cat. Come on over to the Wildcat,
man. I think you start looking at traditional football, right? And at that time, I think I was a Florida State fan. Work done. You start looking at work done. You start looking at Derrick Brooks, and you want to go be those people, right? And you had an opportunity to go do those things. That's what it was. Now, I will say this. I also think, Shine understood, too, when you had those type of offers, it's going to be very hard to recruit against that, right? Because you think when you went to Cookman was totally different than when I was growing up.
It was probably a lot worse, yeah.
No, guys didn't have that athletic ability you got over there, and the academic center and those things that they've been doing in the past, decade. We didn't have those things. So you start looking at amenities, right? Because again, that's a real thing. It's looking at amenities. What do you have, to offer besides playing football, right? And you go to Florida State, you got Coach Bowden, who's one of the best coaches ever, coached the game. You have the stadium, you have facilities, you got Tallahassee. You have all those amenities that come along with playing at Florida State, right? Then you have playing on television, right? That's a big thing. We played 2 games on television on Sunshine Network back in the day. So that was a big thing for myself. I want to go play on national TV. I'm going to go play Miami. I'm going to go play Florida. I'm going to go play those type of teams like that. So I think it was very hard for BCU to recruit us just because of the things that they didn't have at the time. Yeah.
Real quick before we move forward, what do you think about what Dion's doing at JSU and what HBCU, the effort they're putting on now as far as like recruiting and trying to keep up?
Killing it.
And make some progress.
Killing it. You just look at what he's done in the 18 months. And what he's done to that program, what he's done to college football. Think about it. Not even JSU, it's college football. I said this year, the fact that he was able to take Travis Hunter, the consensus number 1 player in the country, and bring him to JSU, you're doing something special. And I didn't think the impact.
It had to be us, though, right?
Huh?
It had to be us, right?
Well, no question. I just think that what he's doing for college football right now and what he's doing for Black college athletics, right? I think that's the impact that you're trying to make right there. Here's what he's doing. He's impacting Black athletics to say, hey, just because it's just Black athletics doesn't mean we're not the same or even better than you go to PWI schools, right? And I think it's just, he's a trailblazer right now. I tell you what.
I think right now, we talk about Travis Hunter, but he's the poster child of this, right?
His brothers along with Travis Hunter. He's the poster child, but his
success is dependent on a lot of what the future of this may be. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of pressure on his shoulder with staying at JSU, being successful, getting to the league, where he gets drafted. Everybody's eyes is on all of that, man. So I don't want to make light of that at all.
I agree. I think this is I think him going there is the first staple. But him being successful is going to open up so many doors here,
Right.
and which is going to challenge the PWI schools. Even right now, some people are truly scared of him and scared of what he's doing, because I think what he's doing right now, no one has ever saw an individual do that. And I think the closest he is to Eddie Robinson back in the day when he was doing, right? That's about where you are right now.
He's just right on time.
Yeah, just right.
He's right on time with the times, the NIL and all that. Those guys, Robinson, them guys ain't have these resources to be able to go grab business and attract athletes from the culture. And Deion got that right now. So he's right on time with it. And I think he's a little bit progressive. He knew this was coming.
And I think that's one of the best beautiful things about black athletics to me at the university level, which is you're seeing people saying, hey, we don't have to go here to get where we want to go to. Right. And I think that's the biggest thing for Travis Hunter is that he said, hey, I'm going to, and this is the thing, I think Travis is one of those kids, he's going to go play in the league regardless of where he goes, right? Mm-hmm. He stays healthy. Good. He stays out of trouble. The Cat has, I saw him play here. I saw him play in Georgia in the preseason game in the Corky Kell Classic. And he caught 13 balls, like 300 yards, or some crazy amount. I mean, the Cat's going to go play where he wants to go play it, right? Doesn't matter where he goes. He's one of those numbers like, hey, this guy is just that good. But what he's going to do for college athletics, black college athletics, is going to be, he may be kind of more so that guy that, he has a trophy named after him when he walks out his door, He's that type of talent.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. All right, so let's go to the recruiting. No, you got a question, Larry? Go ahead. You
head in the same direction as me. Go ahead.
Okay, so you get to Mainland, and Mainland is one of those teams within Central Florida, right? You start balling at Mainland, and how does your recruitment, I guess, take off, and who's your first offer, and from there to that whole process? Once you start balling at Mainland, the letters start coming, the calls start coming. How was that process like for you?
I think recruiting was a lot different back then too. Now, right? Like when you got you get these letters that have a name on it, and type the name out. And just throw those in the garbage because everybody who was somebody got one of those letters. So I would say, I really started getting a lot of attention after my sophomore year, because when people would come and look at my senior group that was coming out in the 2000 class, I started as a sophomore and then made a lot of plays. And so my first offer back in the day was Nebraska and USC. And that's
some big ass first offers, man. That's some most cats first offers be like UCF down the road or Iowa State. You got the big boys coming.
Yeah, so crazy. I just and to me I was kind of like, I was kind of like, yeah, I'm excited for it, but I felt like back then, if you didn't get the Florida, Miami, or Florida State offer,
times change.
It don't mean anything.
Yeah, like I want the big three to come get me, right?
Yeah,
and I've always been like that. Yeah. So yeah, those are the first two, but not, don't get me wrong. Real love USC, real love Nebraska. They recruited the heck out of me coming up, but those are kind of my first couple offers, and I've, I think recruiting for me was really different because my head coach, John Moranto, and I credit him for everything when it comes to recruiting, because a cat that would get you on the phone with anybody across the country, like he was the guy that got us recruited. Like he was that guy. So all the credit for me being recruited was really to John Moranto. I just went out there and played, but he was the one who promoted me. Yeah.
So when you get down to your senior year, you start kind of honing in on schools and things like that about who's standing out and who do you want to visit. Just the relationship started to kick in. So what was like your list when it came down to, when it came close to decision day? What was that process like? Like official visits, like what was your top five, so to speak, that you were looking at or focusing on the most?
I'd tell you, so I ended up going to Florida State, but my first visit was Nebraska, because I really thought at the time it came down to Florida State, Nebraska, and Ohio State, right? So you think about it, the tradition. I'll tell you this here: when you go to Nebraska, like they know you when you get off the plane, like
I hope so.
They know you when you got the plane, because again, they did a really good job of saying, hey, these are the guys coming in these certain times. Because I went to Nebraska after a playoff game, right? I didn't even come on. I came on Saturday morning, And when I got off the plane, it was so kind of remember the trip because I flew from Daytona to St. Louis and then St. Louis to Lincoln, right? Small planes, right? Lose my mind. And once I got off the plane, there had to be
dusters, man.
Yeah, man. It had to be probably at least about 50 people who are Nebraska fans who knew exactly what I was when I got off the plane. You know, and that's one of the things that, you know, they really showed love when I walked off the plane there. And the atmosphere of playing in that stadium back then, because you got to think they had just come out of the national championship game versus UM in 01.
Right.
And I'm coming after that. So it was crazy. Actually, that was the same year, actually. And then I ended up going to Ohio State. In that Ohio State class, many of us were on that same trip in December. So you're talking about me, Clarette, who was on that trip? Bobby Carpenter was on that trip. I think AJ Hawkins. I mean, all right, that December. I remember that. I remember that trip vividly. Yeah. Nick Mango was on that trip. So that was like their big trip in December. And then Tennessee. You know, I really like Tennessee. There was a guy by the name of James Banks who ended up going to Tennessee. We became friends, and you know, and then Florida State. So those were the 4 schools I really thought that kind of fit my personality and that I want to go play for. So and then
you weren't feeling the other 2 in the big 3? You say you wanted the big 3 to come after. You weren't feeling the other 2?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. Miami didn't come after me until like really late back at the time. But at that time, I had kind of made my decision, right? Really late. You know, Don Salinger really wanted me to come to school, but Randy Shannon thought I was too small to come play for him.
That's one thing about Randy. He got a mind when it comes like linebackers. He got the 6'2", 230. That's just his mantra. He
ain't 6'2" though.
Right.
Yeah, but I said he not. Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
It's self-hate, man.
He went to the league.
Yeah,
self-hate, man.
But then, but Coach Hargrave really wanted me to come to school, but Randy won't pull the trigger, so it is what it is. But I tell you, you know, Florida. I took about 3 unofficial visits to Florida, right? And you know, it's one of those things where you walk in the door there and you feel like, man, I keep calling the same store, but I don't get a different feeling. And that's what it was. Like, I really like Florida. I personally, the wrong person was recruiting our area, you know, and I think that's
who was recruiting you.
God dang it. I can't think of his name right now. I have to come back to it. But to me, I think that's one of the things to where you have to put the right cats.
That's Urban them, right?
No, that's pre-Urban. That was actually
Zook.
It was Zook. But we had I was getting recruited by Spur before he went to Washington.
Gotcha.
And then Zook staff came. But Zook staff came in so late, it was already done anyways.
Right.
But that's the thing about, you know, recruiting to me. You got to put the right cats in for the right dudes, right? You know, when it comes down to it. But yeah, I mean, Florida offered me, but it really came down to Florida State, Nebraska, and Ohio State for me when it really came down to it. And I just really feel like, Florida State was a great fit for me.
So Bobby came in that living room. It was a wrap, huh?
You can't. Let me tell you something. When Big B came in that living room, it was a wrap. Yeah, when Big B came in that living room, bro, it was a die. I knew when he came in that living room, I know. Me and my dad were talking about this the other day. We had this cat that used to live across the street from us in our old house when we moved to where my parents live right now, right? And this guy named Mr. George, right? Now, when we moved over there to our new house where my parents stay right now, I ain't seen Mr. George in 3 years. All of a sudden, by the time I come to the house, I see Mr. George. I'm like, bro, go ahead. Right?
Whoa.
Yeah, what you doing? You know, but I knew my mom was kind of like, man, Bob out walked in my house, like, hey, we got to go to Florida State, B. You know, so yeah, but it was a good thing for us. Good thing.
All right, so Buster, you know how NIL is a big factor nowadays. Right. Did you get any NIL deals before NIL was a thing?
Oh, here you go. You know I'm in NIL.
Talk to me. You 24 years back.
It's trendy now, Buster. It's trendy, man. It's not a big thing, bro.
Oh man, I say this year, man. I didn't hurt for anything in school. You know, I didn't hurt for anything in school. Now I will say this year, I didn't have no NIL deals, and I can imagine, what my price point would have been. Had I had opportunity to get in that portal. right? Because again, there's a price for that portal stuff right now, But I was okay. I was all right.
All right. Buster, I know you probably didn't get no recruiting money, but after you had a crazy game versus Miami, what was the biggest?
I was gonna talk about that guy.
Which one? Which game? My last year?
No, that 05 game, man. It was 10-7. You, Ernie, and AJ was all over the goddamn field. I think that was Greg Olson's coming out party, but it was just a defensive struggle.
Yeah,
10-7, man. And I was at that game, man. Y'all was all over that damn.
That was my first nose. My first nose in Canes game.
You know what? I tell people all this. I say, I think you talking about best duo backers in Florida State was probably Brooks and Jones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. The best trio was undoubtedly myself, Ernie, and AJ. And this is the crazy thing, right? Sam McGrew was with
Sam
us.
McGrew, I had some guys.
We still had Sam now, and we had a Lawrence and Gino were freshmen, right? So we were loaded. We had cats. We had Church. Marcel Church was another backer we had. Like, we were pretty good back then, but. I thought I think about this is this. And I talk to my kids about this is nonverbal communication, right? That's one of the biggest things I think when you work with people for a long period of time. It's nonverbal communication.
That's hard.
And that's one of the things that Ernie Agent and I, we had that thing about us. Like, we can see each other on the field, right? And that can communicate to you throughout the play, before the play, during the play, and after the play. Hey, whatever the deal was, right? And that was kind of what our deal was. We just had a great nonverbal communication relationship on the field when it came down to it. Yeah,
most definitely. All right, so you go through the recruiting process, you get to FSU,
right?
All of that shit is kind of out the window, right? You get recruited and stuff like that, but you start over. You kind of all of that All American. Well, I want to go back a little bit because you was at the Army Bowl. Right? I think you was there with Booker and Cam Wimberly, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so how was that? Those conversations like? Did you guys try to talk about playing together with FSU and things like that?
You know what? Because I think Kent was already committed to Florida State at that time. I believe he was, and I think I was still really kind of just diving in because I only had been on. I think by the time that game was, I had only been on 2 recruiting trips. To Florida State. To Nebraska and Ohio State. So I was still kind of in the early part of the state of making a decision. And honestly, during that time, I was still kind of having Notre Dame in the picture a little bit because I really like Notre Dame, So that was kind of like that. But, Book, if you know Book or you ever met him, Book's a different cat, man. Come out of Cali, number one in the country, very serious about his stuff. And, back then, Book could have gone over in the country, right? So Book really wasn't saying where he was going to go because he knew he had that. Because remember, he's the first cat that announced on live television where he was going to score. He comes out of that trend. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
And so Book was kind of like, hey man, I don't know where I'm gonna go yet. I still got people over here trying to get me at USC. You had Washington and Florida State. And now you ask Book might have got some NIL money, but
Book
got that duffel.
They're number one player in the country, right? So
but it was great to go play in that game because the guys we played with, a lot of those guys were NFL guys in that game. So it was great to kind of see those guys and at the young age and see the careers where they went to. So yeah.
What was your first? Did you swing by the moon in recruiting or on when you got on campus?
Oh my Lord, man, that moon, boy. Listen, I'm not being in Daytona, you're not going to clubs,
It's different. It's man. It was the opposite for you, right? So I go from Tallahassee living in it to going to Daytona. What the hell? This is a culture shock, but you go from Daytona.
You got a little beachside stuff, man. But it ain't like that. The moon, man. But it wasn't the moon. It was really the late night library. That library was something else too.
Yeah.
That library go hard. But yeah, you got open your eyes, when you went to the moon, you're like, where is that right here? Because really, like at Ohio State, like we didn't get that luxury, But at Florida State, like that moon got a lot of cats commit, no doubt.
Ooh, tell me about it. Big recruiting tool. When you got that school across the tracks in your back pocket as far as recruiting, man, it helps out a lot.
Yeah, man. It was I appreciate it. I appreciate FAMU a lot. Because again, not that I spent a whole lot of time over there, but it was really good.
Spend all your time over there.
It was over there.
Coaching.
All right, so you get FSU. What was the biggest adjustment? Like, what was like the welcome? What was your welcome to college moment for you at FSU? Because you go from being a big dog at Mainland, and then you go to a school where it's big dogs everywhere, right? So what was that welcome to college like for you?
I never forget this. When we got to school and they put this depth chart up, and I saw my name as a number 3. And again, you got to think, I went to school there. We had Kimmel Pope, who was a junior, and Michael Bulwer, 2 All-Americans, right? You ain't playing in front of them. And then we had a cat named Alan Gusson, who was a phenomenal football player. You know, walked on and earned a scholarship. You ain't playing in front of him. And then you had some cats below, but, you know, you can tell they were looking forward to change the dynamic of the linebacker position. That's why they brought myself, Sam, and AJ in. But I'll tell you, this would really open my eyes to that. I never forget, we were running inside drill, 907. And we had this cat named Pat Watkins, who, you know, Tallahassee legend, right? Yeah. Lincoln legend.
Lincoln High.
And I remember we were going against Greg Jones in the back. I'll never forget this. And so we always play with 2 safeties to get the run fit, but you ain't supposed to tackle no. You ain't supposed to go tackle nobody, right? And I never forget, we were running ISO coach and that B-gap coach, and Pat Watkins showed up, and Big G put his face in Pat's chest. Coach, I say, oh my God.
You know, Pat already a 6'5" lone dude as it is.
Coach. And Andrew's like, you know, I remember Coach Andrew was getting on Pat, you told me I can't tackle. So I think Pat go back and try to tackle G was the same. It was the same result. I said, oh my God, this is gonna be a long for us, boy. You know, I was before G did all that stuff, and that was the year he was supposed to get drafted and go first round when he killed Miami, right? And it was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, that was my first opening to like college. Like, man, this is different. And I'll tell you, we were actually the last class in college football had freshman tour days. And that in itself was really tough. It was tough on us just because it was, you know, we had 3 bathrooms getting all the reps, you know, so but besides that, man, that was kind of what it is for me as far as the college football is understanding that, hey, this is a different game. It's faster. It's more physical. And you got to go, you know, you got to be on your stuff in order to play. So.
Now, like you were saying, you came in, I guess, 3rd on the depth chart or whatever. At one point in time, you was talking about transferring, right?
I struggled my first year, yeah. Because you know sometimes, and I think as you get older, you make a decision, you move on. But I will say this: like I really felt I was kind of torn because I didn't sign on signing day. I took 2 weeks after before I signed. I was really torn between Nebraska and Florida State. I really wanted to go to both, you know. And I think that was kind of like
that's wild, dude. Like between cornfields and the moon.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
it might have a different moon out there, you know.
No doubt.
Moonshine.
Yeah, and so I struggled. I never forget we played what's the cat at Iowa State that played quarterback? We played him in the Black College Association Bowl. Iowa State. The cat ended up going to Seattle. We play him, and I was telling my dad, I said, man, Dad, I don't know about this here. And he was like, hey, you made a decision, bro. You're going to stick with this one here. You know, and that was one of the things that, you know, I try to preach to my own son. You make a decision, you're going to stay with it. And, you know, and he said, hey, you ain't going nowhere. So you got to figure it out. I said, these are things in life. And it was a life lesson for me. So you got, you know, when things ain't going your way, you know, you got to figure out for things to go your way. And you just can't run from the situation. And so, you know, I stayed there and, you know, and then eventually I was able to blossom, you know, with the right coaching. Right. But, you know, it was a struggle for me. I think my ego was bruised, to be honest with you. You know, my ego was like, hey, why are you playing for these cats? You know, but when you look at it, it's like there's a system in place. And when you adhere to the system, then you'll be able to do what you need to do. And that was one of the things that for me that I needed to learn. Because I was feeling like I was on top. Can't come out of my pedestal, my own personal pedestal, right? But you know, at the end of the day, for me, it was the best decision that my mom and dad did not allow me to leave because of what would happen. I'd be running for situation the rest of my life. Everything's got tough. So,
and that's a good point, man. Because we had Sean Spence on last week, and he was pretty much saying the same thing. Like kind of with comparison to today's game with the portal, right? These kids really not going through that adversity. The first little stumping. It's pros and cons. So I like that the kids have the freedom to leave when it's just a bad situation. But say, for instance, you get there and the coach yells at you, or whatever, or I'm about to leave, I'm about to go transfer. So I think that is building, like I said, a lot of stuff carryovers in real life, right? How you deal with adversity, this, that, and another. I tell people all the time, man, football is the ultimate life teacher when it comes to how do you do things in regards to life. So what's your opinion on the transfer portal nowadays in regards to these kids just bolting out at the first chance they have?
The crazy thing is, I feel like I've been one of those casualties in the portal had I been given the opportunity to do it, because now you don't need a parental signature to go get in the portal. Just get in the portal yourself, right? And I believe this year, and I think there's reasons why people do get into it, but I do think it's become a tool of being soft. Just call it what it is, right? Because our kids are not as tough as they used to be. Even my class, even when I was thinking, I was, our class is not tough as the guys in the 70s was, right?
My dad, I was about to say, my dad said the same shit, man. So
and it's reality, I think as we get things in this world, we become more lax in how we raise our kids. And so, I do think there's some times, hey, if I'm not playing that quarterback, bro, I got to go play somewhere else. If I want to go, that's a different deal, right? But I think if you're playing in a position to where you got 3 or 4 y'all on the field, right, hey, bro, you got to figure it out, Yeah. But I understand about, those quarterback jobs, those guys who get the ball, running back jobs, I understand it, because if you're on that depth chart, you're not playing. So I get that, but I do think that it has become an opportunity for kids to leave when the first ripple, and when they're there to leave. Yes.
All right, bro. So 06 comes. Ernie AJ is gone, right? It's your defense. You're the captain. You run the whole linebacker unit. You're the vet. So how was that for you? Taking over that entire defense and being a man.
You know what? It was. It was a little different, but I will say this here. Like, when Ernie AJ left, Eugene Hayes and Timmons stepped in.
You're right.
So you look at it, it's like
easy transition.
Like, hey, let's roll, And so they had played with us anyways the year before, and it was just like, hey, let's roll, Because I think when I was in school, we always had a better defense than an offense, right? We just did traditionally. I think kind of when Mark Richt left.
I'm about to say, I want to get your Jeff Bowden take. I want to hear what you got. What you think about Jeff Bowden?
I just think when Mark Richt left, I think a lot of innovation left, if that makes sense. And people say in Georgia he wasn't innovative enough, right? Because he didn't win enough games up there, right? And there, whatever. But I do think it changed, when Coach Richt left. So our defense was always a staple of our program now. We really think about, look at the guys who got drafted and before me, and guys who drafted behind me. It's always been a primary
defensive program.
A big thing for our program is defense, right? And so when those guys came in at 06, man, it was kind of like, let's roll. And we knew we was going to have to carry our offense just because we had, guys who had to play. We had Xavier coming in, Drew Weatherford coming in, right? Those cats had not really played there. So, and to me, if you don't have a quarterback in college football, you're not going to be successful. I don't care who you are, And so we had some undeveloped guys there, and so we knew it was going to have to really kind of be like a premier defense, which 95% of the time that year we were. Yeah.
I like to ask like players sometimes, what was Bobby like? What type of game he gave y'all with dealing with media? I know you guys got some type of flexibility and was able to talk y'all shit a little bit, but what was Bobby's message in like the locker room with you guys to start dealing with media?
I think Coach, kind of had it was always a team first. Always talk about team first. Never demean the people who you're going against. Always give them love. And never give the media something to run with and to create a story out of. And I think that's no matter what you're talking about, whether you're, working for IBM or working for the Dolphins, right? And it's really that's how it should be. Very kind of down the middle without giving anything away, and that's really kind of how it was. As long as you did that, and a majority of our and I don't really think I've ever seen anything in the paper from us when we was playing that was something like goes by like, hey, bro, we can't say that. Everybody was pretty much understood what the message was,
right?
Because the program was in place. Yeah.
Good media training from Big B from the get-go.
The only person that really moving like that now is probably Saban, right? Like a lot of these kids, because they got Twitter and all that, and these kids can get off whatever they want to. Right.
Yeah. I think we had Twitter. I do think there are the Instagram or the Snapchat or, I think everybody would be, just kind of like it is now. You're going to have some folks that may go off the road a little bit. But overall, I think, our program was so different back because we were a top 5 program, right?
Right.
So there was a standard that was upheld at all times. And, we didn't get many issues. There weren't many issues at our school when we was in school because they were just a standard. And and I think, when leadership has a standard and holds everybody to that same standard, which you look at Saban, he's done a tremendous job in the last, 15, 16 years. He's held everybody to a standard. And if you haven't adhered to the standard, then you eventually do what? You eventually move on. So Coach Bauer was kind of like that, but just not as, I guess I would say rough with it, because I got coach in the later years. He was a little bit more, it was a lot more calm actually. So,
Granddaddy B.
No doubt.
Somebody who I guess really wasn't so calm, and that was Mickey Andrews, right? So how was it? How was it coaching? Well, not coaching, playing under Mickey Andrews. How was Mickey Andrews as a defensive coordinator?
You loved him because coach is going to get the best at you regardless. I don't care who you are. Walk on guy who going to get drafted next year. Didn't matter. Like he was going to get on you. Man, listen, I'm seeing Coach Andrew cuss out people. Coach, shoot, I'm going to make $30 million next year. Coach, he can care less, because it's this standard and it's this program is what I want. And but this is one thing I will say about Coach Andrews. Coach was tough on. Coach is unbelievable on that field, boy. He walked across the lines off that field. Like when I tell you, if he got you in practice, he put his arm around you, walk you all the way from the field to the stadium. And that's the type of cat he was. So the respect for him is unbelievable. Like the respect for Coach Andrews was just as much as Coach Bowden.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just, and I'm talking about from everybody across the campus, right? Especially in that football locker room. Everybody respected Coach Andrews just as much as they respected Coach Bowden. Yeah. Now playing for him, you had to truly earn your stripes because he came from that Alabama era, with Bear Bryant, right? You had to earn everything you got. And he made sure that I didn't care who you were. If I recruited you, you're gonna come start at the bottom. You're gonna work way to the top. And I'm gonna make sure I put some things in front of you so I can see if you're really worthy of being at the top.
Mm-hmm.
And so
some adversity.
Yeah, he needed to because again, he knew on Saturday afternoon, Saturday evenings, he was gonna face adversity every day, every play. And so but yeah, playing for him, man, was unbelievable experience.
Yeah, I tell people all the time. I think Coach Bowden, he has a statue. I think Coach Andrews deserves a statue or something along those lines as well, man. I mean, naming the practice field after him, something like that. Coach Andrews is just as important to as Coach Bowden to the program, in my opinion.
Oh, no doubt, 100%. And anybody who you ask will tell you the same thing. Like it wouldn't be a thought that he had just as much impact on that program for those years he was there as Coach Bowden did. No doubt.
All right, so your senior year, you have over 100 tackles, all ACC, all American. What is the draft process like? So after that, you're going into your draft prep. How was that like for you?
It was good. I ended up training at this place called API, Arizona. I don't think it's there anymore. But it was the people I trained with was impressive though. Like the people I trained with there was Jamarcus Russell was the first person I trained with. You had Patrick Willis.
Was he really training though?
He was training then.
That day he was working.
He was working. It was
that number one pick.
Paul Puslesny was there. Adrian Peterson was there. Oh my gosh, Mike, Aaron Ross, and Mike.
Aaron Ross, Texas.
And the safety Mike, who got drafted by
Mike Huff.
The Titans.
Was it Mike Huff?
Mike Huff came out. Was it Oakland? Michael.
Mike Huff went to Oakland. That's right.
The safety. I can't think of Mike's last name. So you had the premier of guys who were going to get drafted that year at that place, and it was really crazy to see just how cats were trained or who how they were, because again, these same cats are all American lists and winning the Buckets Award and winning all those awards. So you got an opportunity to see where you matched up with those guys there as well too. So went out there and trained, and then came to and then also we did the Senior Bowl and the draft, and then I came to Atlanta and trained until I got drafted. So, but yeah, I think the draft process is crazy. I know but they're investing money into you just like anything else, right? So they'll make sure that they got the right product for what they're looking for in the program. So it was a great experience. And I told my mom again, when I was 12 years old, I wanted to go play in the league, and I had the opportunity to go do it. So it was really a special thing for us to do.
So 12 years old, you tell your mom you're gonna go play in the league. Fast forward to what, maybe
10 years later.
10 years later, right?
Yeah.
You get drafted third round by the Detroit Lions, man. So how was that for you and your family?
It's good, I think being drafted is an awesome accomplishment, right? Because so many people wanting to have it, but this is one thing I would tell people all the time. And I tell my son this all the time, is that, the knock on me was that I wasn't 6 foot, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that shouldn't stop you from chasing and accomplishing what you want to accomplish, regardless of where you are, where you come from. And I think that was really the moment for me. And I was like, there were so many things that people want to say, hey, you're not tall enough. And that's the only thing people not tall enough. And I still was able to accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. And that's one of the things I stress to all my kids, whether I'm coaching them or my own 2 personal kids, is that no matter what you do in life, somebody's always going to doubt you. I say by the end of the day, the only person confidence that matters is your confidence, and you got confidence yourself, you can obtain everything you want to attain. So
lingo, man, talk that talk, Buster.
So that's really what it comes down to. And our kids, and like I say, my babies, my 2 kids, Tony and Jordan, they're kind of on that path right now of what you want to do in life. And I said, hey, whatever you want to do, you got to make sure you got to be the best at it, right? And the only way to be the best at it is work at it the most, right? And so that's what I really kind of, tell them all the time. They say, Daddy, you get on my nerves, keep telling them, but it's truth. I said, that's how I got to where I got to, right? It wasn't about somebody else, about my own personal saying, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to let anybody stop me for doing it, right? So, but yeah, the draft process was awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed playing in NFL. I think it gave me clarity and understanding about what that really is there, right? Because I think we see it from outside the door looking around at it, but really, what is the NFL? It's a business. It's a high-end business, and if you want to play there long, you have to adapt to the high-end business model, right? And adapt your lifestyle to what that model really is. So, but no, I enjoyed it. It was a great experience, and financially it was good, and
what was the craziest question?
Craziest question about what?
From the draft process, like the combine
draft process.
You know what? It's so long ago. Jeez, 16 years ago. This is what I will tell you though. This is what I will tell you though. All right. For the questions that I never forget this. For the questions that a team asked me, opposed to my teammate asked him, is very prevalent of this. And this one thing I will say, my academic advisor, Dwayne, was really, and my parents were big on this, right? When you walk into that room as a college graduate. Because I'll tell you, the questions that they asked me were, hey, this guy started something, finished something, and is a graduate, opposed to, I'm just coming out because I'm early or I'm young.
Gotcha.
So there's a respect factor and there's an understanding factor. Like, you just can't ask them crazy questions because, again, I'm just as educated as you asking those questions, right?
Gotcha.
So I will say this here. That is one of the things that I will say, that they're going to ask you questions, but the crazy questions, if you look at it, are always the guys who are not graduated from college.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. If you coming in with a different respect level. than a young kid. I get that. I like
there
that.
we go. So that's when you start hearing this, man. This guy asked this crazy question, but I guarantee I will put my money on it. That kid hasn't graduated college yet. So they feel like I can just ask you anything and you're gonna answer it because
We'll test your maturity level. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that is one thing people say. It's not so much the degree, it's the grind that it takes to get there, beginning to end.
Yeah.
They know you'll stick to something and see it through.
Yeah. And
more
that's
so than what the degree is.
Yeah, regardless of what the degree is, you started something, you finished it, and now as it's accomplished, you gotta think a lot of those guys in the league are not masters and PhD dudes.
Right.
They're the same, they got the same bachelor's degree you got, right? You know, and when they went to the work world. So that's that. I would say that was the difference I saw coming from the combine or the pre-draft visits were the question they asked me opposed to asking other teammates.
Did you have to take the Wonderlic?
I did.
What was that like?
You know what? And I'll be honest with you, it was just a normal test to me. Like it was a common sense question test, right? We got common sense, and again, it goes back to what? If you've been in college,
preparation,
you went to school.
It's a little bit different than just common sense, though.
For me, it was like very common sense to me. It really was. And I just really thought it was really common sense. And I don't really know what I got on it. I don't think I do, or I can't remember. But I held my own on it, I believe. I don't know what the top score is, but I held my own on it. But I just thought it was very common sense.
Yeah, I mean that's some people. I'm a test taker.
Yeah.
I may not sit down and do what I was supposed to do in classroom, but you put the test in front of me, I'd be like, I can smoke this. Like,
must be nice.
I was complete damn opposite.
I'm a great test. I'm a test guy. But I think the Wonderlic it's a little different type of test, and I think it's a little culturally
biased.
It's a little culturally biased, man. Just go and take it yourself, and then we get your score. We can talk behind the scenes about it, but you can go take it online.
I didn't know you could just take it.
Yeah, you can. And
I've jobs use it. Like certain jobs use it now too. It's not just the NFL.
Yeah, I do think it's. And when people say it's culturally biased, that's everybody's opinion, but I do. There could be some of that there, but I think it's culturally biased in everything you do in life right now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So
can't crap about
that to me doesn't even, and I've heard that multiple times, blacks are not supposed to do well on there. It's the same thing for the SAT and the ACT, right? Our scores are not supposed to be as high as, whites, or greens or yellow people, right?
I think the average fan wants to know, like, how does it relate to NFL? Because we've seen mixed results when it comes to the scores and accolades, right? To results on the field. So at that point, what is it really for?
Well, all right. In my
I don't want to stay on Wonderlic long. We just no dialogue, bro.
But this is what I say. It's information, right? And for like in my kids, when I talk to my kids, either football wise or in the class when I teach, right? I say information is three things, right? We call it APA format here. It's absorb, process, and apply, right? That's all information really is, right? No matter what you do, you got to absorb it, okay? You got to understand it, okay? You got to get it from the teacher, whoever is teaching you. You got to process it, however your processor processes, and then you got to apply it when you got to go do something with it, right? With the information. So I think there's probably a lot of people who struggle probably with the processing part of it, because it is a lot of information to process at a very short period of time, right?
Right.
But you really think about it, how much do you have to absorb, process, and apply information when I get that calling from the defense coordinator and I got to go run against it? So I really think at the end of the day, like the Wonderlic doesn't really give you what you need as far as when it comes to process information, absorbing, processing, and applying information on that field. Right. Because again, you look at it, if I got, doubles here, but it's really 11 personnel, we call it spread, and you got this back in, weak gun, whatever the case may be. What is my blitz? Whatever the case may be, that stuff like that to me
on the fly.
Yeah, it doesn't apply to that, right? And people pressure on the test. You pressure when you're not ready for it, right? There's no pressure when you're not ready to deal with stuff, right? To me, like if I've got my game plan here, I got my game plan all week, I'm watching film, I'm ready to go play. There's no pressure for me. Right. So my absorb, process, apply, my APA can go quicker because I'm properly prepared to take the test, which is on Sundays. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Where else you gonna get this type of content at, man?
That's good.
I like that. Real good
stuff.
stuff. Couple more questions before we get you out of here. You went third round, man. So what was that first purchase? What did you get when you first got that check?
Man, dumb. Being dumb, bro. I went
pretty on par for the course.
It was crazy though. That we had Crow said the same thing. Travis Johnson, he said the same thing.
Bro, I went and brought a Range Rover, bro. I was like, bro.
Oh, that's fly. I like that.
Right?
I like that.
And so one of my good friends growing up, Anthony Hamilton.
Spence would have got a CTS. I was like, bro, you a granddaddy, man? What the
got a Cadillac.
I like
I always like the Range Rover growing up.
Go to bingo night.
I told my buddy Ed, I said, man, I'm gonna get me a white Range Rover, right? And I went and got it. I'm like, Friday come back, like, why did you, for what? You got 4 wheels, bro. You know how to drive right now?
Right.
What's that?
What do you think? I drive a Jeep Wrangler, coach.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. But, you know, I think that's one thing I will tell anybody who's coming out and making a large sum of money. Make sure you're ready to use that money in the right way. Because we made the dumbest purchase. I wish I can just start a company and say, hey, these are the things you need to do when you first get paid. These are the things you need to do. This is order things go. Because, again, I think as athletes, and I don't care, white, black, orange, yellow, doesn't matter. We make the dumbest decisions when we're younger.
Right, for sure.
Because we think that money's going to continue to come.
Right.
And if you don't get that second and third contract, now you're working on that money. Oh, that money eventually is gone now because I'm not getting that next contract, right?
Right.
And so, yeah, dumb purchase. And T was like, we kind of range right. I'm like, T. I was like, you know, but, you know, those are things, learning lessons in life. But again, for us, is to pass on to the next generation.
When you get to that moment where you start realizing, hey, I got to be a little bit more, you know, frugal and watch how I spend my money. You don't seem like a guy that has hang-arounds and entourage at all.
No, I don't deal with that. No.
Right.
No. I think, honestly, man, I think the first year, because you start looking at bonus money, you know, opposed to salary money, right?
Right.
That's salary. I give an example. I want to say probably after taxes, I want to say like my salary check was like 10 grand. Right? 10 grand. And $10,000 ain't a whole lot of money.
Oh, you gotta tell me, cuz.
Right. And you understand.
Kids, if you're listening.
You only get 17. You only get 17 of those. That's it. Right? That's all you get. You get 17. That's it for the whole season.
Right.
So you do 10 grand, you know, if you want to go vacation and stuff, yeah, you can live a really good life. But if you don't budget, you're gonna be broke too. And waiting for the next year and hoping you get your money to work all season stuff so yeah, it's not a good place to be.
Because you can acquire it, and that's kind of like it's funny you said about being broke, because yeah, you made a lot of money. $170,000 is a nice year.
Yeah.
If you done spent $230,000 via credit cards and whatnot, you 60 in the hole, and then now you got a hope next year.
I tell people all the time. I tell people this. I'm like, man, listen. If I had to do it all over again, I want to spend a dime and just live like I would live like I lived now. Like I live on this is all we can spend this year, and that's it. And I've done that. I'd have been a millionaire right now. You know, I wish I could have just put $10,000 into Amazon and Apple. Coach, I won't be working.
Right. Damn high school football, right?
No question, Coach. On a ball team, you know.
Speaking of high school football, and kind of segueing, so you're the head coach of Mount Zion High School. So how's that like for you? You know, pouring back within the youth and being a coach, going from, you know, playing at the highest level to pouring into these kids who have those same goals that you had back when they're playing at the highest level. So
check this out. So I just recently moved jobs.
Okay.
So then I took a job at a private school, called Strong Rock Christian School, which is probably about 10 miles from my house, because it allows me to bring my daughter and son to school with me now. You know, instead of my daughter was 30 minutes away, my son was 20 minutes away. But I took the defense coordinating job with actually another Seminole, Coach Jackson. is our head coach, and so I'm just a DCO here. But anyway, make a long story short, I love impacting kids. I love showing kids how things are going to affect them outside of school when you leave our school, right? Because again, my job as a head coach or teacher or educator is to provide skills so they can obtain skills, right, to be successful when they walk out the door, right? Mm-hmm. And if you think about it, I want to obtain skills, not only life skills, but college skills, right? College thinking skills, how to think once I walk out that door, right? And so I enjoy doing that because I do think, if you're not educating this generation is going to be one that's going to tell what to do, right? Yeah. So that's the reason why, man, I just enjoy being an educator. I really do. I do.
I understand that. That was actually what I was in school for, education.
Yeah.
Something about mentorship. I love to see people avoid the pitfalls I made, man. Yeah. Anything I teach the young kids, be like, listen, don't do that, man. So, I'm telling you, I was like, wise man learns by some mistakes. A wiser man learns from another man's mistakes. No doubt. And the kids take it from you, that information.
Some of them take it.
Yeah, you ain't gonna get all of them. You're right. You can't reach them all. Sometimes, like the old saying, everybody ain't gonna make it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like, I tried, bro.
Hey, Buster.
Yes, sir.
I do want to get a Geno Hayes story out of you before we get out of here.
That's my rest in peace to Geno, man.
Rest in peace, Geno.
So Geno, Geno is a trip. Geno was a trip, man. He when Geno first came in, Geno, our head coach, our position coach, Coach Steele, now the DC at Miami. Yep. Right? Kevin Steele is he's something else too. Kevin Steele used to give us all these minuses, right? So Geno's a freestyle player. Geno go out and just freestyle, go make plays, right? And Coach Steele's like, bro, listen, as long as you keep freestyling, you ain't gonna play. Right? Right. I'm like, Geno, bro, you gotta play in that B gap, dog. You got to go play in that B gap. You can't go play in space and go make the play late because coach ain't gonna play you, right? All right. So we in practice. This is the year before he started, which is in 2005. We're at practice. I think the twos are up, and still just getting on Geno. So we have this. We have these half scrimmages in the fall and the full scrimmages, right? I want to say Geno had like 9 minuses out of 18 plays, right? And 7 MAs, right? 7 missed assignments. And Geno was like, you can run me long, but you can't run me hard. So Geno, he had to run times, right? And Geno like, man, listen, you can run me long, coach. You can run me hard. Geno, no, we got to get out of here now. We got to go.
Right, Geno said you won't want that shit coming from Madison, huh?
Hey, Geno probably ran more gases, and I ran a lot of gas out for my first couple of years because I was a knucklehead too. But Geno might have ran more gas than I ran in the history of Florida State. It's like, you can run me long, but you can't run me hard. So that's
Hey, that's real. I respect that, man. Well, we appreciate you having on, man. The conversation was real dope, man.
Yeah, awesome. Man. Good times, man. Appreciate
it. I'm glad you guys are doing this, man. I think a lot of people and a lot of kids need to see just having an opportunity, to see the older cats like myself. I'm an older cat now,
right?
And just kind of see what they're doing and what they're bringing to society now. Because I think it's important. I think it's important. Absolutely. I think your show is really good, and appreciate for having me on. And hopefully we do this another time.
Appreciate the love, man. Let people know where they can follow you at. Sorry, Buster. Let people know where they can follow you.
You know what? And I'm not even a big Twitter handle. What's my Twitter? I got it, and I don't even listen.
Hey, the coaches never know.
Hey, man, the people ready to hear from me. I tell you that, man. Like, you got
follow at Buster Davis 7. Yeah, so when
you got a hive, Buster. It's a Buster hive out there, fam.
Yeah, so I put out a tweet. It was a tweet on Twitter. They had like these random conversations, like name this, a forgotten linebacker, running back that was real good, this, that, and other. So I put out a tweet saying, Buster there, like, my favorite linebacker, this, man, Buster.
I saw that.
Man, you got a lot of love with him, man. I'm telling you, people remember.
Well, I appreciate this, man, because I do think, where we are right now, it helps with our school branding and having positive people, come to our school now. So appreciate it. And then I can put this out, right? I can somebody put this out.
Absolutely.
Keep this out.
We'll We'll drop the show
tag me.
morning,
hit me.
We'll tag you in the
man,
morning.
send it to everybody. Your auntie, uncle, grandma,
Absolutely.
everybody. Tell me you was on the roll up, man.
No question, man. I appreciate it, and I talk to y'all later.
Yes,
All
sir,
right,
bro.
man.
Take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Buster Davis, real good interview.
Yeah, man. Good times. Good times. Be sure to visit thegramco.com. Use coupon code ROLLUP25 for 25% off gummies, pre-rolls, wake and bake coffee, hard candy. We got some more vibes on the way.
I did the hard candy last night. Pause.
Me too, man. I gotta lay off them things.
How was it, though? I remember
Snuck up on me again.
You should have texted the group, Larion. You said then.
Yeah, I was gonna try. Yeah, so I did. I only did one. One was good for me. One was like a nice vibe.
Right.
It's like Silk said. I definitely think the impact was a little quicker. So, I think I could have took on two, but I was drinking like a couple of seltzers, and I was like, all right, this is a good spot to be.
Yeah. You can't overdo
ain't gotta do nothing else. Yeah, ain't nothing else to do. Yeah, just lay around.
It's easy to overdo it too, especially when you mixing liquor in the kush, man. You gotta be careful.
I was already on dialer X mode, so I was like, that's enough. You don't want to do no more than this. But good stuff. I actually like the flavor was really cool too. It's not very harsh. Like some if you guys have tried other edibles and things, sometimes you can pick up like a little bit of that harsher taste. It was really smooth. I really enjoyed it.
All right, let's get into some big three talk, man.
Most embarrassing loss ever.
Why are we talking? Are we going to talk about this? Do we have the results of it?
Yeah, we do. Hold on. That's what I just thought about it, to be honest.
I got a late Trump surge, man.
Let me see this. I'm trying to pull it up right now.
Overnight, man.
Went to sleep feeling good and then woke up on home.
And so for the audience, which I'm sure y'all know because this thing had the timeline hopping yesterday.
Yeah, it was hopping yesterday morning.
Yeah.
Timeline was jumping.
It started from we was in the group chat having a conversation.
It started from Maul pivoting from the damn conversation. That's where it started from.
We gotta do what we gotta do. It's just me and Maul, you know what I'm saying? Two Canes against 12 games and 12 no, whatever the breakdown is, something like that.
Yeah.
So Maul played it smart. Okay, we do got it. Cool. Thank you, Harlan. Oh, damn.
I told you, man. Trump like surge.
It was close too.
Trump like surge, man.
All right, so we looking at the visual.
Happy as Democrats, and y'all woke up and seen that we had that Trump surge, baby.
You know why? Okay, hold on. Let's get the results real quick. Yeah, you're right. Hold on. So
give you a take. Why you think?
Put it back
I'm gonna tell you why I think
up.
so.
Yeah, just in case if you guys are not tuning into the visual, here are the results.
Pull that graphic up one more time there for me, Harlan, because I was trying to find it on the Twitter. Okay, here it is. So I put up poll most embarrassing loss. I did Georgia Southern, Jacksonville State, or Florida International, and final results was Florida International 13.5%, Georgia Southern 37.2%, and the winner and champion Jacksonville State at 49.4. Let's hear it for Florida State game.
Man, get the fuck out of here. And also, man,
I'm gonna tell you why.
It was from people that voted too. It was over 2,500 votes too. So
that's what I'm saying. That was a lot of interaction, man.
Appreciate that engagement.
I think I had already had Jacksonville State as the loss, right? But then when you came in late in the chat and presented the extra information that you guys were down, so many starters. Y'all was on what?
Yeah, I got the best excuse, man.
I was like,
I got the best
excuse. That way. I was like,
when I
it
saw
doesn't help.
Yeah, when them motherfuckers did not complete a pass, like that's just some lay on you shit. But then I think Post had made a tweet like, bro, it was fourth and long, JSU, fourth and long.
Walk-off style, bro.
Walk-off style. I mean, a couple seconds left in the game.
I was screaming, go!
Bro. And I told you I went to that fucking game too, man. So
I remember.
Oh my God, dog. My whole face just dropped, right?
Two tackle easily could have made.
So you make the catch, okay, cool. Give up the damn catch. But you give up the damn catch to like 20-yard line.
Yeah, everybody like they quit.
Right. Jarvis Brown didn't even try to tackle to do it. Like it was just sad, bro. Like
it was just a sad way to go out. It's like it shouldn't even been a game.
Right.
And you could have ended it in the embarrassment and say, hey, you know what, man? This was embarrassing, but we escaped death.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, gave it. I was like, I know they just
walk off style, bro. That shit was fucking embarrassing.
That was crazy. That's crazy. So,
hey man,
anyways,
I didn't see the poll at first, so I go in the chat, man. I'm busy in the morning. I'm at the beach doing all my Zen shit. I open this shit up. It's full-fledged war.
Oh, it's hot.
I'm like, what the hell going on? So I see the poll. I go on Twitter, CJ politicking and shit. I was like, oh my God, we down in this motherfucker too. I'm like, what is going on, man?
It was neck and neck for most of it. And then, that's why I was surprised to see they pulled off like that towards the end, because it was like 44, 42. Almost every time I looked, it was like
it was tough, man. Like I said, that late surge.
I knew we was out of there. You see, that was the thing. They trying to come at us. I was like, wait a minute now, hold on. We all got a nasty deal now. Yeah, I don't know if I was as nasty.
Y'all shit is egregious too, man. Because y'all the same city.
Ain't none of them cool.
No, that's the thing. That's the point. Yeah, all of them are bad.
Yeah, all of them bad. Everybody like, oh, look at poverty, the big three, bro. We having fun. We can't have fun, man.
Damn, man. We just clowning on shit. Damn.
We know it's trash.
So damn serious. That's the whole point of the damn poll, dude.
This is embarrassing. This is it. Motherfucker, we know it's embarrassing.
We saw the fucking game itself. Shit, what you mean?
You want us to hate our life and not enjoy it?
Lighten up, man. I care about other stuff. Anyway, I just had to get that in there real quick. But still a little, I guess we'll get into the big three.
Yeah, let's get into the big three, man. We got some commits and some tops, pause.
Bottoms.
Some bottoms.
Yeah, we got some bottoms too. We definitely got some bottoms too.
Oh man.
We're gonna kick it up.
Well, we had the.
You got the most. You got the big stick. Go ahead.
I'm about to say, we got.
Y'all had some commitments.
We only got one, and I'm my bad for the last show too, because I realized I had Jaden Wayne on Friday, and it's one of the funny things where I write my notes. I wrote it wrong on the notes because we record, say today, which is Sunday, but we're talking to y'all on Monday, so I had it off by one day. But yeah, we were able to secure the commitment of Jaden Wayne. I think they dropped. Well, I don't know if you're 4 or 5. I don't really care at this point. But I care for my bet. So we gotta get him back up to 5. I heard there was some noise last night, and like people was mad.
No, so bro, it's crazy. Like y'all, Cane fans are. It's not even close. You talk about fan base emotion. Canes fans are the most emotional fan base by far, bro. That shit is crazy. So,
I gotta work here, CJ.
I understand that, like that's what I'm saying, and not you. You motherfuckers are emotional. So we I guess the kid rating dropped. So these motherfuckers start unsubscribing from 247 and all that type of shit. Made your boy
unhinged, man. That's an unhinged fan base, man.
Made your boy Gabby put out the tweet saying, man, we know
we mad too. What y'all doing?
Yeah, we mad too. It's unfortunate, but goddamn, motherfucker, you taking food off my face,
bro. It's not that deep.
And
y'all boycotting and protesting
like,
over
fuck the damn record,
y'all look batshit crazy.
Right, and what's the main difference? Of course, I guess it's a little bullshit bragging for Twitter rights. But what's the difference between the damn a 5-star on the borderline?
You only have 35 or
right, so you got a 5-star on the borderline 5-star with a high profile 4-star. Like, come on, bro.
I kind of like it though, because it backfired. All these ranking changing and bullshit around the rankings be fucking with the fans. So I'm kind of glad it backfired on their ass too, man. I think that's hilarious, man, that them boys started unsubscribing from the bullshit of changing rankings. It's Bush League, man. They change rankings. It's too fluid. It's way too fluid, man. And I feel had as a fan, if I'm thinking this kid a 5-star, he commits to my school, and then that same night you snatch his star away. That's bogus. Like what kind of
right? So organization you running? And that's what I was going to say.
What goes into that?
But clicks, not as buzz, not as talk. Are you just trying to do this to generate conversation? Like, what is the real motive behind y'all changing rankings so fluidly?
Right, and this is my thing. You have to embrace the villain role a little bit if that's what you want to do. And we say this all the time about
all programs. Like
they drop it, they say it, and I don't pay attention to other ones like that, so I wouldn't know. But I'm like, this ain't new. Who cares? We got an elite talent that say they come.
Y'all hear my take? The kid's committed now, right? So like, give somebody else that spot that's not committed, right? That 5-star, because he could get more clicks. We can still get stories out of him.
Bring the hype up.
Like, his story's over a little bit. His story, he was a 5-star, but his story, there's not gonna be no more visits. Like, he's likely done. So
he don't bring the traffic no more.
The value.
That's a take.
Like I said, it's a conspiracy until it makes sense to me. Then I'm like, that just makes sense. Now, is it or not?
My bad, bro. I'll be looking for conspiracies. I just off the hip. I just thought that.
I like that. I think that's a really good take. But yeah, I saw a little. I woke up this morning. I was like, "What's the kerfluffle? What? Oh, they took a star. Oh, they take stars from us. Come on, let's still celebrate the good times, man."
We still got this motherfucker.
They did it with Don Chaney. They did. I mean, it's happened.
It happens, bro. It's part of the game.
And we all go, well, what the hell? Ain't nothing happened overnight. Silk just gave you a great theory. I really think there's going to be a lot to that. We did end up that was only commitment. We did end up missing on the kid that I said on the last show would be my favorite prospect if we were able to get him into this class. We gave him something to think about. He pushed it back, but ultimately, pause. That sounds crazy. Collins, Kia Paul, did end up committing to Michigan. I think that it was a tough decision for the kid. I think we got him to come to the visit and gave him a little more to think about, but ultimately, he just had a little better relationship over there. Felt more comfortable at home is kind of what the quote he said. Felt more like home. So just as much as you can get kids that kind of want to play, maybe in a little more of an urban area, you got kids that may want to play a little bit more out, in a more regular collegiate setting. I think that probably has something to do with it. But yeah, a miss in my eyes. But congratulations to the kid. Good luck out there in Michigan, man. Y'all had to commit? Hold on. Kush big.
Yeah, Kush big, bro.
I caught you like at the worst moment too, right?
Yeah. Eugene Wilson, top 50 wide receiver, top 50 overall guy, elite blue chip, dynamic wide receiver. I think he play anywhere, but I think projects to be out of the slot for us. Our receiver class is shaping up to be pretty good, man. We'll see how it works out, but a very good get right after getting our quarterback. I think Aiden Mazzell is going to be a guy that jumps in the fold as well. Andy Jean's another guy that could possibly jump into the fold. He just dropped his top 5. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but Eugene Wilson is a great get.
Anything we all see since the last show?
My other take is too. Now that we got our quarterback in the fold, I think our recruiting on offense is going to be a lot smoother. Stokes is really active and got a lot of relationships with guys, not just in the Duval area, but also around the state, man. So that's my take too. Like I said before, whoever won the Rashada battle was going to definitely get a boost in recruiting, and we saw that. Now that we got Stokes, you can see us and some results and some things. Aiden Mazzell tweeted out the same day. Some decisions are being made soon. CJ, where y'all at with it? We'll get to these tops in a little second.
Yeah, that's all I got, really.
That's a nasty screensaver right there. Whatever you got there, Larry. That's nasty work, bro.
Not for me, it ain't. I do what I want to do. That's the beauty of me.
You didn't went off a little bit, so I can't see it. But no, I don't have anything. The only big news we have is when the show drops on Monday, of course, we have the announcement of Lucas Simmons. Got a top 4: FSU, USC, Florida, and Tennessee.
Quiet.
It's real quiet. I haven't heard anything. He's being real guarded to the vest. So I know it's kind of like, it reminds me of Keldrick Falk a couple weeks ago. Not a couple weeks ago, last week.
Yeah.
Didn't really know anything at all leading up to the decision. I know I said last show that this show we may have a little bit more information for you guys, but the kid is being real, guarded to the vest, which I like, as far as not letting any information out. So we'll see how that plays out. But I do think Coach Atkins has done a really good job as far as building a relationship. So we'll see if that ball is well for us. I do think USC is a main contender along with Florida, but don't sleep on Tennessee also. They've been making a pretty good push. But that's
nobody knows shit. Nobody knows shit
at all.
It's different now, man. Kids are giving whip phone wrong information on purpose to throw in crystal balls and pump fake them. Trayon Webb did that, and I kind of told y'all that when the crystal balls whip phone we talked about in the group chat. I said I think Wilt's a little washed out here, just a little tad bit on that one. Yeah. And so these kids are just in control of their own fate, and they want to control the narrative. So we don't know shit. They shut it down to quiet,
kind of like the old days, right?
Yeah, but on surface, what I know, it appears that it would be Florida State or USC. There is some buzz about us making up some ground. We got a little momentum going right now. We'll see, but on surface, Atkins is a stronger recruiter than has shown to be a stronger recruiter than Stapleton and Sale. So We'll see what happens on Monday though. But I think everybody's kind of in the dark. Nobody knows shit.
Yeah, agreed. I got a couple. It's a couple kids that said they're going to pop up and visit at the recruiting event at the end of July. But I get into that list later once we get closer to the date. That's all I got, man. Until we jump into these bottoms, so to speak.
Yeah, let's get into it. What's up with your man Ricks, man?
Yeah, so I don't know, man. Elias Ricks, and it's crazy because he was on campus a lot in April, came to the spring game, things like that. It was a lot of smoke at that point in time that he was going to commit. He was on commit watch during that point in time. So, and the crystal ball started rolling in. The FSU fan base got excited, including myself. And then I don't know, the kid just started taking actual damn visits or whatever. And then that that smoke kind of damn died down. We didn't make the damn top 10 for the kid.
We're talking actual damn visits.
Right, for real. Like, bro.
We had him until he got to see things.
Motherfucker seen what the world was really about, right?
That's like that cute girl that don't know she fine yet. Like over the summer, she get to high school. And
not to get to high school. She get on down Twitter and Instagram and then start smelling herself. She posts one of them selfies and that selfie take off and it's a wrap. And that's pretty much
I had
right. Damn, she had 1,200 followers yesterday.
I had
damn, now she got 6K followers. It's a wrap now, bro.
This is blown to the streets and DMs is in shambles.
But I don't know, man. The good thing about it is it's a 2024 recruitment. So you I guess play well in the field and you still have a chance to get back in that recruitment. But to not make the 10 is just crazy. And it's not just him. Don't get it wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of it's like Andy Jean. He recently took an unofficial visit to Florida State earlier in June. And hell, he raved about that visit saying, hey, yeah, FSU is definitely firm into my recruitment. They're going to get it official. They're going to be this.
Think y'all be holding a gun to him while they get the
I think 247 reporters or Mike them before they leave out the morgue got the gun in the back of their head, man. Y'all better be popped. You better be popped.
Read this quote.
Right. Verbatim.
Again, we're talking about we're talking about Desmond Ricks. He dropped his top 10.
Yeah, I said Elijah Ricks, I think. My bad.
Yeah. Desmond Ricks. 5-star defensive back out of IMG. He dropped LSU, Alabama, Texas A&M, Oregon, Miami, Florida, Ohio State, USC, Oklahoma, and JSU. Prime is in this motherfucker, man.
And real quick, tidbit too, we had
Prime negative recruiting, y'all, man.
That's what it is. You see, I took Travis from
y'all spot.
Kevin Coleman. In my jersey hanging up there, so you know what time it is. And we spoke to Bud Elliott. I was talking about the April visits. We had the tailgate, the spring game, and Bud popped to the tailgate, and he was talking about Ricks and just saying like he thinks he's within the Jalen Ramsey type mold. So he's one of those type of players. Kid is legit. Bud was real high on him. Think he could be one of those players. Hell, Bud was even saying, kid, if you stay within the 2024 class, don't reclassify to 2023, I think you're doing a disservice because you're that good. So, and Bud, doesn't shoot out praises too often unless it's warranted. So, I do believe that the kid is definitely legit. So it's a huge miss for FSU, but you got to start. I don't know, man. And then also another quick tidbit too, just to kind of piggyback on the reason why I think because. We just don't really have any recruiters on the staff. I think Alice Atkins is a hell of a recruiter, but on the offensive end, I know Ricks is a defender. I'm just kind of speaking in general. On the offensive end, we don't have that type of guy to kind of be the piggyback to Atkins. Like we had Kenny Dillingham. Dillingham was a hell of a recruiter. Dillingham was aggressive. Dilly did his thing. Exactly. So Dante Moore just committed to Oregon, and it's because of the relationship he had with Dilly. And I told you guys back when the Dante Moore smoke was talking, I said his main connection was Dilly, right? I do believe. I'm not saying he would have got Dante Moore, but I do believe it would have been a legit serious conversation if Kenny Dillingham had stayed because the main connection was Dilly, and he was number one on Dilly's board without a question. And even going back to the recruitments last year, even though we didn't land these guys like Kevin Coleman, the reason we was in that recruitment was because Dillingham, like it was a bunch of guys like down the stretch we were in for him due to Dillingham being a good recruiter. So if that's something that Mike has to address this offseason, it's just the overall staff as far as like dogs on the recruiting trail, because Atkins is one for sure, but you can only do so much by yourself.
He'd be all right.
No doubt.
It'd probably be Mike last year.
Yeah. They'll get it.
You say he got to win 8, right?
I think he went 7+. I think personally they win 8. I think 7+ he'll be okay. 8, but see 7, you still leave some gray area, right? So say for instance you have 7 wins.
He's safe with 7.
I don't know. So say for instance you have 7 wins and you lose to Florida, Miami, something like some along those lines, and recruiting still struggling, that type of deal. Then people gonna have some conversation like, where's the momentum coming from? We're losing the in-state rivals. We went to a bowl game, but it was 7, but then you're still struggling to recruit, that type of deal. So there's a lot of factors that kind of goes into it. But I think 8, he'll be safe because with 8, I think we get a recruiting boost from them winning, and plus just 8 wins. It's a pretty round number.
Yeah, he need a good climb. He need to like make up some ground.
Well, like
6-6.
He always talk about climbing, so we got the motherfucker.
Right, it's got to be the one. It's got to be the one. You got to hit one of them plateaus up there that's pretty high.
This the goddamn climb that you don't climb. You don't climb, you go fall off the cliff. What it's gonna be?
That boy climbing a footstool, man.
Trying to get the top of the refrigerator.
Boop, boop. That's it. Boop.
We hit
that cabinet you can't reach.
Yeah. Got to put something for my jits right here. Andy Jean, 4-star wide receiver out of Miami Northwestern. Andy Jean dropped his top 5. That's what CJ was talking about as well. That Florida State didn't make. His top 5 is Alabama, Miami, Florida, Georgia, Texas A&M. That's tell you what. That's how. Like, you want to know how good a kid is? Like, right there.
It's a good group.
That's a good group right there.
It's a good group right now.
Don't get no better. That's elite group.
How you
I don't care where they got him at on the fucking shit. Like, where they got him at, man. Shout out to all the services that want to change the shit overnight.
Right.
Y'all boys hold it down. Appreciate y'all work. Everybody got to roll. But offers like this, dog, this kid's a real deal, man. I don't know how long. I like us for Andy Jean right now.
Yeah, I seen. I'll tell them boys. I say it's a confidence that I don't like coming off of Silk and Dan that tell me it's Florida. But I was like, I say I ain't gonna let y'all boys be set up for failure. It's a little too much confidence coming from that side. But
no, I just like the vibes from Andy Jean, man. I know.
I think
high on him. And I know, like, that's why
Corey Bender put in a prediction for him also to Florida.
Yeah, I think I did see that. He was a kid that I thought we was gonna be able to swing back around and get in this class. At this point,
it's
hard to get that recommit.
The percentages of them kids. I know they say such and such still in and that type of deal, but it's just hard to get a kid to recommit once he
right.
We did it with AR, so I ain't mad if we do it. You know what I'm saying? If we ever pull that off, because if the kid can play, you try to get him back in the fold.
No, you definitely recruit for sure.
Yeah,
it is.
At this point, I kind of like Florida, and then I actually think A&M might be making a nice push towards the end too. So
I'm trying to discourage me, bro.
I'm not trying to discourage you, brother. I'm just hearing some of the buzz that I hear, just spreading some of the buzz.
I hear it too. So tell Jimbo I said we pulling up, man.
TAMU,
Let me start.
So I still got us third.
we might whiff on the bag or something. Let me start talking crazy. Jimbo, don't worry about it, man.
Hey, I'm plugged in. I got a TAMU plug.
Oh yeah, you boo.
Yeah, man. And I got a PS5 on the way.
To be your age and have a sugar mama is nuts.
Why? Shit.
You know how old she gotta be?
Yeah.
Ain't no rules on sugar. I can give you some young sugar.
Okay.
I got a question, Larry. She take a T5. She keep them in.
You gotta relax. You can't get that intimate, man. It's a family show, man. What you doing?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, little buzz there.
Teeth out gotta be whoa though, bro.
Oh man. Another top grouping release. I know it's the craziest. Like that's why I was like, we got. That's why I put top grouping. Another top grouping that came out was Samuel and Pimba. Currently 5-star. We'll see how that goes. He released his as Notre Dame, Oregon, UF, Tennessee, Bama, Miami, and UGA. So again, that it goes again to you talking about Dilly, man. I give it to him, especially with being a new regime. That O has been in a lot of these top groups.
I'm telling you, man.
That green
and recruit, and plus And Dan Lannon, he was recruited too at Georgia.
Right.
So
man, they got that NIL duffel out there. I don't care
Yeah.
who go out there. That shit gonna recruit.
Combo. There you go. 1, 2,
and
3.
also you can sell wins at Oregon, even though Dilly hasn't. I don't know, man. Dilly hasn't really shown anything as far as like what he's developed so far. Well, he did have that 1 year with and that's crazy. He's at Oregon too. What's the quarterback name? He was a true freshman, the kid that transferred. The coach's son, not the coach, the booster's son. Well, Bo Nix. Bo Nix is at he's at Oregon also with Dilly. So yeah, he had his freshman year with Bo Nix and things like that. So, but again, that's just what Dilly sells as far as just the vision. He's just a hell of a recruiter, man. He's relentless. I was talking to James Coleman earlier. He said Dilly he recruits 24/7. Like he's just that type of guy. Young kid, young dude, energetic. And I know we give people like coaches crap about playing games and Madden with the kids, but Dilly that's his bag, man. Like he'll play a Madden game with them kids, and then the conversations go from there. So I'm telling you, and I told you guys this a while ago. Him making that move to Oregon was good for his career because he has full control of the offense, versus being under Mike. So I think that next step for Dilly within a couple of years, of course, would be that head coaching position. If things go right in Oregon, of course.
Right. And that's when he double back for Atkins.
Yeah, by that time, man, no telling what would be.
Yeah, it might have been a 5 by then.
Right.
You're right.
Atkins
None of that shit even matter.
Hey, pull a Miami and just hire from within, man. Just make Atkins the head coach.
And it's crazy. A lot of people within the fan base want that already.
Yeah. We did too in Manny too. Don't let them fool you.
Fans are nuts, man. Fans are absolutely nuts, bro.
Man, I had someone tell me that Atkins was more qualified than Mike Norvell and Willie Taggart to be the head coach at FSU. Now, granted, we're talking in hindsight now. We talking about cats that had head coaching experience prior. Atkins was like, come on now. I love Atkins and what he's doing. I think he's going to be a head coach. What to say?
Yeah, it's just steps, man.
Yeah, it's just steps.
We got to actually put a good offensive line on the field. Yeah, all this recruiting shit is fun, but he got to actually put a solid,
competent
product to be a head coach, bro. Like you got.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what people say when they look at the recruit that he's getting recruited, stuff like that, and that shit is head coach.
You're getting to him, dog. Make Atkins the head coach. Fuck
right, exactly, for real. Motherfucker said he was more qualified than Willie Taggart. Like,
trolls be getting to people, bro. They just say anything, man.
Yeah, crazy stuff. But yeah, that's my take. I do think Atkins is an elite coach, though. In his own right, and he's on track to be a head coach too at some point in time.
Right. That's it. We got a recruiting shit. What do we got?
Yeah, that's
we'll see what's up. That's the closest. I don't know. I don't have a date for Aiden Mazzell. I think it's his birthday. So if you want to be weird and go check his timeline and figure out, but Aiden Mazzell is deciding this month, which is his birthday. We also got the Orlando trio or the I-4 boys. I have no idea. Everything's everywhere. I don't know who's to take. I do want to revisit that whole group on the midweek show, so we kind of organize the dates, the trending, who's going where, clear up that type of vibes, man. Circle back on that. Have y'all? It was some news that went out from NCAA. Pete Thamel reported NCAA is setting some rules for the portal. A creation of 60-day transfer windows.
I didn't see that.
Really?
Right. Yeah. So it'll be a fall window, which will be 45 days after championship segment, and then a spring window, which is around May 1st. I'm thinking that's around the spring football.
Right, spring ball. Yeah.
Right.
So then, okay, student athlete enters the portal outside.
So you can't just hit the portal just any
They
old
have to
time.
serve as a year in residence upon transfer. Oh, okay. So then you stuck there. Well, there's a lot of them stuck there already.
No, I don't think like you said. It says spring sports 160-day window after the championship segment. If the student athlete enters the portal outside the window, they have to serve as a year in residence upon transfer.
So, all right, hold on. P got to break that one. They have to serve as a year in residence upon transfer. I need to know what a year in residence means. That's what's got me tripped up a little bit. What a year in residence where? In the portal?
Said, unless you get a waiver that the NCAA has and will continue to give out to everyone. Yeah, so it's just a waiver. I don't know.
Same thing they've been doing.
No, but the difference is the window.
Right. But then you're right with well, I guess how they gave out the waivers before, a lot of people had issues with consistency and how they were allowing these.
Does this do away with the one transfer rule? Like you automatically get a free buy, get out of jail free card. Does that affect it? That's the question.
That's the question. Yeah. You need to have someone on to kind of clarify. That's a very good question.
Yeah, I get heightened or somebody come on and break that down for us. Yeah, we'll double back on that.
Double back on that story. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
I think the window thing is more to. I think it leans more to help protect, these kids just jumping around and moving all, willy nilly, kind of giving you some focus, because I think part of what they're seeing is like, hey man, y'all just going into no man's land, and now you done transferred your ass right out of college. What ultimately happens then? Like, where do these kids go? Because you don't have your scholarship no more, right? Or
it's
workforce.
Yeah, I just want to get somebody. I don't know what.
I definitely.
Her Wendy's doing $20 an hour right now.
They doing a job fair. Savannah.
No, man. I'm serious, man. I told y'all, man. It's cats from FSU probably back in like 2017. Of course, they didn't probably do other stuff now, but they're still in the portal technically, so to speak. And it was a tight end we had. I think Alexander Marshall. He was tweeting out, a couple practice touchdowns. In practice though, practice, like years.
And it's funny, but it ain't. You know what I mean? I kind of go back to what Buster was saying. Is you need to just stay down and do the work. Like, I always think that's crazy too. When like, say, our program's been down, you leaving us, you probably not going to be that successful, because
then you leave a team like Florida State, don't get nothing at all. Like at all.
But the player could be trying to get away from the bad culture in the locker room.
Possibly.
The work ethic. They may just think, man, I just need to be around some fresh energy. That could be a thing.
That could be a thing too.
And then it be too late. Like nobody really wants your ass. So
right.
You can have good intentions and then get in that motherfucker and just be stuck.
Yeah, I think a lot of these guys, especially like he was saying earlier, when you're in positions where there's three guys out there on the field, there's three linebackers, there's three wide receivers. If you're not quite cracking it, man, you might want to just stay down, stay on the grind, graduate, and then maybe go as a grad transfer and give it one more year. Say, hey, I gave it all I could here in Miami, didn't quite get the opportunities I thought I deserved. Here's my one last shot at it.
Right.
So it's you're right. Every situation is unique, but I think, especially these young guys, because another point he made, the younger you are, the dumber you are. You just don't have as much information. You don't have as much wisdom, period. That I think there's a lot of guys that their egos get a little bruised. Now they jumping out. A lot of coaches are like, hey, you ain't that good. You should have stayed where you was at. You're not good enough for me to just pluck you up and put you at the top of put you in my roster.
It's just fresh talent, man. So it's fresher eyes on the high school, the JUCO guys. People want fresh film. You ain't got no new film. Right. We didn't have you on we did the realignment show. Everybody that's watching, y'all haven't checked that out. We did a Friday live. It's on the YouTube and also on the podcast. But we did a conference realignment show with a lot of guys on the network. We kicked the good vibes. But Larry, you didn't make it. You was out, giving that mid.
I sent my expert in who been studying that stuff, man.
Oh yeah, Chef Maul came with his shit.
Maul knew he been wanting to talk about that stuff. So I was like, perfect show for you, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, Maul was locked in.
Yeah, it was good vibes. But what's your opinion? Big Ten and SEC is pretty much what everybody's lining up, like AFC, NFC type shit. Of course, there's other conferences, but there's two big dogs out there. What's your opinion on Miami, Big Ten, the Big, or SEC? And I know you prefer SEC, but what's your vibes on if you end up in the Big?
I'm fine. You just got to make one of the two. That's just the way I see it at this point. I would understand. When I really sat down to break it down, would I prefer Florida State, Florida, and Miami to all be on the same side of things? Yeah, for football fun, but I understand from all programs trying to be competitive, to be honest with you, it's like, man, really one of us need to be on the other side, at least one of us. It's just we're going to be, we'd almost eat yourself to, and if we're all in that same thing. So it's like we'll really be holding all three programs back, to be honest with you. So we'd be cannibalizing ourselves a little bit. So I don't really care which side we end up on at this point. I just want to make one of the two. Just give me one of these two super conferences. And then let's ride. Let's compete. It's going to be, the playoff picture will be different at that point, obviously. It'll be expanded because you're going to have some, two mega conferences. So it's going to be a lot more like an NFL model. So I think your chances are still going to be excellent as long as you're in one of these two to come out on top as a champ. So, and I didn't listen to the whole show yet. I usually save my pods for work, and I've been off work all week. Sadly, I go back today as y'all listening to this, but I heard, one of the points y'all made, like the weather thing, you made a good point. It could work for you or against you. Don't really matter because they got to come play in this humidity and the wrong time of the year. And, we got to go play in the cold. Everybody going to be cold. Everybody going to be hot. It's going to be a little bit more advantage to the guys that are more accustomed to it this week, next week. You got to tough it out and go to Wisconsin. That's only. I just don't want to be in their pod. Just don't put us in the Wisconsin pod. But it'll be fun.
Wisconsin problems. Oh yeah, all of it is exciting stuff, man. The trolls are set up. Everybody ready to get their shit off if y'all don't get it in SEC. But so trolls and jokes is gonna happen. But it's just historic times in college football, and I don't think either conference is really gonna matter at that point. Like selling, I just don't know. As a South Florida kid, if I'm gonna go want to play in some of that shit. It just looks more attractive than schools that are like closer to you grew up liking and watching. Yeah. It's in the South, that'll be the only hiccup. But fuck all that. Let's get to
regionally. Yeah, as a fan, I'd rather stay in the SEC regionally, and right. I just think it's going to be either or Florida State or Miami. I just don't think it'll be all three on the SEC side.
Right. Let's get into some other stuff. A USC transfer, wide receiver Jordan Addison, who was big. This is a big story in the transfer world, man. And we all had our takes on why he should have stayed at Pittsburgh. Who was that came on here and laid out why he should have stayed? We had a guess. Trap. Yeah, Trap came on. Travis Johnson came on and told us, his pitch was stay at Pittsburgh, get with the Rooney family, them people trying to do some business with him, ride that thing out and build something. Now he's having, some second thoughts now that they at USC. That NIL money ain't hitting like they thought it was going to hit.
So them promises ain't promises.
Promises ain't coming through. It's one thing. That's why I said
promising.
I keep saying like we gotta see these checks get cashed. All this money, all these dollars keep getting screamed out. All that sounds cool when y'all tweet it out and have these kids' lives in danger, making it sound like they millionaires and shit, and they not like that. All that shit sounds fun, but like the checks got to get delivered, and then they don't get delivered. These little kids they sassy as shit.
And then
they gonna let us know they flogging.
He disgruntled.
They flogging.
Say a little upset out there. And you got to remember, kind of back to the point you were making earlier about media sensationalism, right? So they want to put out these crazy numbers, right? So that I come and say, what? So they say Jada Rashada getting paid $12 million or whatever. What I'm gonna do? Ain't no way. So I'm gonna click on it, see what they talking about. And then, even he come out and say, hey, man, damn, they pushing these numbers. And look at, bro, I ain't getting that kind of money, man. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't start that static already. I ain't even got on campus yet.
I ain't living like that.
Telling all my teammates I'm making $3 million a year or whatever the case may be. So it's the same lies they could tell. It's media sensationalism, and these coaches still could lie to you because there ain't no paperwork signed just yet. Oh, you come here, we're going to give you blah, blah, blah. Well, where is that? Got to sign it, and the checks got to start coming through. So apparently, J.A. ain't been getting his money how he's supposed to be getting it. Allegedly, it ain't from his mouth, but it's been circulating a little bit. Something else to consider when.
Grass ain't always greener, man. More the story.
It's not, bro. It's not.
Hell nah. You said it on that show. He'd have been the king of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but USC can't be out here looking broke like broke boys either, though. Like you can't be. That's a big brand. You can't be getting the big dog out of the portal. That's a bad look for him soon. Like he ain't even played down yet. And he's like, man, these people not paying what they say they're gonna pay. That's a bad look on them as well.
In private school, I mean, again, who's the deals? Who are the deals? You're saying he's gonna get around 1.5, whatever they were saying he was gonna get. Well, until that paperwork is there in front of you, signed with both signatures, it's all speculation just like they're doing on that site. Like they're speculating about what you're going to get. Well, they speculate left and right. They don't know until you have actual signed contracts with, if he gets a deal with a car dealership out there, movie theater, whatever the case may be. It's all we think we can get this package here put together for you. And that's it, them people in.
Let's get up out of here,
Call
man.
me. I said, hey, is it Mr. Bing Auto Sales? Who?
Yeah.
Oh no, hell no, I ain't talking about getting them. Hell no.
Said shit to me.
Yeah, I've been selling cars plenty by myself, son. Thank you though.
That's why it's low. That's why NCAA is like trying to crack down on that talking to them in the recruiting phase, because there's no guarantees in it, and then you get this shit like this. Kid get on campus. Right. Oh, and this happened before NIL. Like there was some kids that got on campus promised bags, and they out of there. You're like, damn, that kid mad already. He transferring already. He don't want to compete. That's what y'all say on message boards and shit. Nah, like that bag ain't get dropped off, bro.
Right.
9 times out of 10. But let's get up out of here. It's Sunday, man. Let's go touch some grass. Some cheeks.
Touch some grass, all right.
Touch some grass and cheeks.
I'm going back to sleep.
I do want to give shout outs to everybody on our Patreon, hanging out and on the Discord. We had a Warzone tournament. Week 1 winner was Loco Gang. Team name was Loco Gang. Patreon member Marvu Florida Boy.
Nice.
Man won $100 cash, a gift card, Graham Coat, $25 gift card, T-Vidal, $25 gift card, some vibes.
Man got this whole. We was just telling y'all this shit, man. Man got this whole Patreon that plus more. Like, come on,
come on, bro. This is about just laying shit down on the wall.
Y'all talk all that good shit about them video games, so why not eat?
Right.
Hey man, that video game group chat is the fuck. I peeped in that bitch this morning. I was just like, why the hell the roll up group chat going off like that? Yeah. So I jump in there, man. Them boys talking big shit to each other, man.
Oh yeah. If I was any good at them shooter games, I'd be in it, man. I'm like I say, when NCAA come around, I'm gonna try to sharpen the sword back up and see if I can get in there. Right.
Week 2 winner was Hamsters on a Wheel. Patreon member at Phil K. Limis. Okay. We're gonna send out a graphic. You know what I'm saying? I just want to give them boys some love. My man got $50 cash. Some Spencer's Jerky gift card. Shout out to that salsa. I got some salsa from Spence, man. Yeah. That shit's spicy, man. It was fire, bro. That's the problem. That spice, but it was so good. I kept eating it, man. Shit was hot twice.
Especially once you get through that first initial heat, then once you
kick to it.
Yeah, you good at that.
Shit. Then that should be hot later on too.
That's what they say. I ain't never experienced that.
Any shout outs?
Nah, man. It's Monday, man. Shout out to the first day of the week, man. You're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. For all my people that work 4 10s, 1 down, 3 to go. For those who work in them 5 8s. It's just the beginning of the journey, but you got this, man. Head to the sky, man.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Keep them earbuds in. Keep pretending like you don't hear people talking to you even when they are.
Yeah. Shout out to the people that talk people earbuds in their ear. Like y'all the real menaces of life.
Yeah. You're a real jackass is what you are. Now stop it. You know I'm trying to ignore you. That's it, man. Let's get up out of here.
Yeah.
No shout out, but I do got a song. It's called Demon by Mixed by Heen.
Nice.
Demon. Oh, okay. Thought you said Dick Demon.
Whoa! How'd you hear all that?
I don't know what it
is. He stammered a little bit. He's like
Demon. I guess it's me trying to read, make sure I got this shit down pat right.
I don't need that in my playlist, boy.
Dick Demon.
I don't know. Let me hear it one time. She's a dick demon.
It's definitely time to go, man.
Let's get out of here.
It's the roll up, it's the vibe. We'll catch y'all on the hump day. Here.